All right, so I'm really going to start getting back into the swing of things. Been really busy with alternative stuff lately, very life-changing stuff, but that is still ongoing. But despite that, I'm really about ready just to get on with it and start continuing where I left off, or at least attempt to with the group in the Discord. So, the stock market, it's a complicated thing, or it can be. There's a lot of moving pieces in it, but essentially to make profit, you're only looking when you're trading options, that is, for really one thing. If you're buying the options, or in other words, going long on the options, or opening a position um, on the long side of the trade for options. Not talking about selling options in this video, but when it comes to buying options, you're really only looking for one thing. That is momentum relative to how much time you have left on the clock. If you buy an option that is about to expire and, it goes against you, the closer you are to the money, the worse it's going to hurt. And likewise, if in the profit side of things. So the closer it is to expiry and the more it moves in your favor, the more money you're going to make very, very quickly. Same goes for losing money. That's all it is, really. It's just essentially knowing the forces that are acting upon your option, which is the Greeks, underlying price movement, and then any macroeconomic news or factors that may surface. So, in essence, momentum is what you're looking for. So, I know a lot of people in the group have been wondering about commands and stuff. Again, I've been out of commission now for almost 3 months. I had a month there in the midst of all of this where I kind of was able to get back into the swing of things, but I've spent the majority of the time, preparing defense and all this stuff for court. So, yeah, I'm going to try to start getting back into it. So what I'm doing here is I have just a file open. I'm going to start coding a few things. And when it comes to the commands in the Discord, the reason for them and why they exist is to help you find outliers, things that you know and that you can rely on that are going to help you find that momentum that I was talking about a second ago that's going to help you profit in the market. And there's a few ways we're going to do this. One, of course, is a few simple data metrics. You got the RSI, you have the PE ratio. Now that we're seeing a market where the repo is way, way less than it was, at this time last year, and fundamentals are going to be more relevant to the bigger picture. Now we can start incorporating things like PE ratio, price to book ratio, all of the earnings metrics that exist to try to determine if a stock relative to its price is undervalued or overvalued. So I'm just going to demonstrate for those who may program or things like that how we're going to do this. I'm just going to do I'm going to build a bot from scratch real quick for Discord and just build a couple of commands that are going to be useful for the group to use to find the outliers I was just talking about. So what we're going to do, we're going to import a few things. I'm going to import operating OS. Import this. And then we're going to call a bunch of, or we're going to import a bunch of FudStop packages. So from FudStop APIs.polygon.async import Polygon. Then we're just going to say poly is Polygon. Then we're going to say host is localhost. Port is, or password is FUD. Port is 5432. Database is markets. And then user is Chuck. And then after you pass that in, then you're initializing the Polygon package here. And anybody can use this. You just have to have a Polygon key, of course. We're going to define our main function, which is main. Then we're going to say data is await poly.rsi snapshot. And this is a function that I made that gets the RSI for the minute, hour, day, week, and month for a ticker. So we're going to do is say ticker is ticker. We're going to pass in a ticker here. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to test this first of all before we get started. So let's just run this, make sure that we get data back. Main. We also need to import some tickers. So we're going to do this, say FudStop.api, or sorry, .markets. List sets ticker lists import. Let's just do a couple of sectors, and we can do this by sector too. Let's just import all of them real quick. Technology, industrials, healthcare, consumer, cyclical, communication, consumer defensive, utilities, energy, ETFs, real estate, what else? Basic materials. I think that's it. And then we can, combine these all together to make a list of all of the tickers. Or we could do a more refined list, such as from budstop.apis.webull, markets, import Webull markets. And then we're going to have to define that the same way. We're going to do WM equals Webull markets, and then we're just going to copy and paste the same thing there. And now what we can do, instead of using all these tickers in those different sectors, what we can do is we can say, let's just do most volume equals await markets. We're going to have to define, I'm sorry, I did Webull markets dot top options. And then we're going to say rank type is volume. And then now what we're doing, we're basically going to extract the tickers that have the most volume. Actually, let's do this. Let's do position increase, which is going to be, position increase, which is going to be most the tickers with the most increase in open interest for the options chain. So now what we can do, I believe this is a data frame. So yeah, what we can do is we can say ticker equals, or tickers rather, equals most volume symbol. And we would probably have to do some regular expression as well. I think actually I've already done this in a different file. So I'm just go get that. Yeah, right here. I already have the regular expression done, save some time. What we can do here is we can just say tickers is import RE. I'm going to say ticker. And then this should extract the symbols from each of the option symbols that appear, because the symbol can be found at the start of every option symbol. So let's go ahead and just test this. Let's just print the tickers right now and see what we get back. Let me go ahead and run this. I'm going to comment this out and just leave the print statement just to see if it works. Oh, whoops, I forgot to pass in the ticker. So we actually don't need to pass in anything now, since we're getting the list of tickers from a separate function. So we can just run this on its own. Okay, so here's the list of tickers right there. But the problem is right now, there's a lot of repeated tickers. So what we want to do is we want to say tickers equals set tickers, like that. And then we can just take this and move it down one underneath the set of tickers. And then we can just run this asynchronously, right? So now we can just print the data from the RSI snapshot command or function. Now we can say async def run main. And then we're going to copy and paste this function series right here. And then for each of the tickers inside of this list, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to do tasks equals, and then in list comprehension, we're going to do main I for I in tickers. And then we're going to gather these with await asyncio.gather tasks. And now we're going to run this, and then we'll be able to see all of the RSI snapshot for each ticker with the most open interest increase. Now we can pass back in the ticker. Let's go ahead and run this and see what happens. And then I'm going to make a command where you can see very quickly which RSI is overbought or sold. Oh, I forgot to await that. My bad. Where did I screw up? Oh, run main was never awaited. Oh, I just put asyncio. My bad. There we go. Very quickly print out all of the RSI snapshots for each ticker that's found in the position increase. And there we have it right there. So that's what we wanted. So now we can see here that we have price, we have the day RSI, the hour, the week, and it did it very, very quickly. So now we can simply make a command for this. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so I can see better. So this works. We have this command. So I'm going to go ahead and just make a new file called bot.py. We're going to import all of our dissnake stuff. We're going to define our bot as commands.bot for now. Uh-oh. Then we're going to do command prefix is going to be exclamation point, even though we're going to have slash commands. And we're going to do intents equals dissnake.intents.all. And then we're just going to import OS. And then from here, what we're going to do is I'm going to go to the Discord developer portal and just grab a new key. And by the time anyone tries to use it, I will already have reset it. So I'm just going to show you right now. That's the key. You're not going to be able to use it, so it doesn't matter. I'm just going to go ahead and post this straight up in the file. Bot.run. Let's paste in this. And now what we can do is simply make a command. We're going to say bot.event. We don't need that. We don't even need this. I think actually we do. It's been a minute since I've made these. I'm going to say async def on ready. I'm going to say print ready. And we're just going to see if we get that print statement in the terminal real quick. And we do. Perfect. Okay, so now we can do a command. But instead, we're actually going to make a cog. So I'm going to say cogs. I'm going to make a folder, rather, called cogs. And we're going to say this first set is going to be stock.py. So it's going to be the stock cog. Down here, we're going to define something. But first, we're going to do the same imports. And really, it would be better if we just make an initialized file here and then just put this here. That way we can just import it from each cog. Okay, and then now we have the dissnake stuff imported. So now we just do a class. We're going to say stock cog. We're going to do commands.cog. And then we're going to say initialize as self and bot. And then self.bot equals bot. And if you want to put the type hint, you can just do commands.bot. And then from here, what we just do commands./command, async def stock, self enter, pass, and then at stock.subcommand, async def RSI snapshot. This is going to be our first command we're going to make. Self enter, pass an application command interaction. And we're going to do simply a ticker, which is a string. And now we can say, give it a little description, gets the RSI across multiple time frames for a stock. Now we can say await enter, response.defer, and then that will defer the message to allow us to be able to respond to it. And then from here, we have a couple of things we can do. We can either just get the data directly from the API, or we can use the database. For this one, I'm just going to go ahead and get it directly from the API. So I'm going to go to the main folder here and re-import this stuff over to the stock folder, just like that. And now we can just do self.poly. Let's copy paste this here. And instead of just having this outright, we'll define it as self.poly, and then we'll do self.wm. It'll be easier to call it. And we're going to define setup down here, which is bot, commands.bot. We're going to say bot.addcog, stock cog, bot. And we just print a little statement whenever it's called, just to make sure that it works right. I'm going to say print stock commands ready. Okay, so we have the RSI snapshot. So to get the data, again, we just do await self.poly.rsi snapshot. This prints a data frame or a dictionary, depending on what arguments you use here. Actually, this one will print by default in a data frame. So we do ticker equals ticker. And then based on this, what we can do is we can easily, we'll need to import this from tabulate, import tabulate, and we'll need to import pandas as PD. And what we're going to say is, I think it's a data frame. I think it's a data frame. We'll stick with that for now. So what we'll do is we'll say embed is dissnake.embed. Title is RSI snapshot. and then we'll put the ticker name so we know what we're dealing with. And then in the description, we'll put table. And then the color, we'll just do, for stocks, we'll make it dark blue. So here, really all we have to do is just convert the data frame into a table. So we'll just do table equals tabulate data as the data frame. The headers will be the keys of the data frame. And then the table format will be fancy, bro. And then show index we will use as false, so we get less space taken up in the embed. So that should be all we need. And we'll just do a little add field. Name is RSI snapshot, just to give the user a little bit of a reminder what they're looking at here. We'll just say in nice little characters here, you are looking at the RSI snapshot or relative strength index for the ticker that you called. Oops, put the F in the wrong spot. And we'll say an RSI above 70 is oversold for, wow, I always do that backwards, overbought for that respective time frame, and oversold if under 30. And there you go. Simple. And we'll just add the footer by doing text, or I'm sorry, embed.add, or I think it's set footer. We'll do text is implemented by Floodstop, data by polygon.io, and then we'll say icon URL is OS, oh, didn't import that, son of a beach. Actually, that's something else we could probably put into our initialized folder here. So, and we can also do these two as well, because we're going to use them across pretty much all of the cogs. So now that's all imported. Yippee, os.environ.get floodstop logo. And then last but not least, we'll just say await enter.edit original message embed equals embed. And that should do it. So I'm going to go ahead and restart this bot now. We should get the cog print ready statement and the on ready statement to print. Got ready. Oh, I forgot to load the cogs from the main file. So, hold on. So bot.add cog, or load cog, or load extensions rather. We'll just do cogs, and that should do it. It's going to load the whole folder right there. Okay, stock commands ready. Perfect. So now we go to the server, and we will make sure, first of all, the bot has the necessary permissions. And I just added this bot. I named it commands. Let's see here, members, commands. Yeah, it's right there. We're going to go ahead and give it all the necessary permissions that it needs. And by the way, anyone that wants to join, just join through YouTube. It's that simple. Just go to tier 2 or 3, whichever one you feel is a good fit, and it's full access to everything. It's right straight through YouTube. It connects you to everything you need, and the link will be found in the description. But now that we have the bot able to call the commands, let's test it. So let's go click on it. We have RSI snapshot. We get to pick our ticker. Let's do Apple. Why not? Okay, so we only got one. What's the dealio? So it called the right things. Let's go back here. What did I do wrong? Data is, okay, hold on. Let's troubleshoot a second. Print the data. It gave the API URLs correctly. Let's try that again with the print statement. RSI snapshot for Tesla. Okay, there we go. Now that works. You see how it's nice and neat. It's very simple, straightforward. You have Tesla, the price of the stock relative to where its RSI is. You have the day, the hour, and the week in this example. Very, very easy and to work with. Let's zoom out a little bit more. That's what it looks like at 100% zoom. But very simple. But that's just one thing. So now, what if we wanted to, make another cog and call this one scan? And then we'll import the same stuff here. And we will say scan cog instead, and then we'll copy this function as well, and then we'll say scan instead, and now we'll do scan, and then we can say at scan subcommand async def scan RSI. This will not take any arguments because this will scan all tickers in, or let's just do scans the most active tickers for their RSI readings, or let's just do snapshot. And the same thing, wait enter dot response dot infer, we need to pass that in. And then we can say, let's do the database in this one. So I'm gonna have to do from apis.apis.polygon.database import database. And this one, what we're gonna do is we're going to say self.db is basically the same thing as these two, Polygon database, and then pass that in. And then now we say await self.db.connect. And then we say query equals, and what we're going to do is we're going to make a quick table with the RSI snapshot from before. So basically, every time somebody calls a command with the RSI snapshot, what it's going to do, we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to import this here. I'm going to say from putstop apis.polygon.database, import database. So every time this is called, what it's going to do is we're going to connect here as well, self.db.connect, and we're going to say await self.db.batch insert data frame, and we're going to pass in the snapshot or the data, which is data frame. We're going to say table name is RSI snapshot, no spaces, and we're going to say unique columns is the ticker. So if the ticker ever gets repeated in the query, like if someone calls Tesla today and this one calls Tesla tomorrow, it's going to automatically update it in the database for us. We're going to make sure this works first by calling this function again and then seeing if that table gets created like it's supposed to. Oh, and then we got to also, actually that may be right. Let's go check. So we should have two categories now. We have, yes, stock RSI snapshot, and then we have scan RSI. Oops, I did the wrong one. I'm supposed to do the RSI snapshot to see if it works. Okay, so let's do Tesla again. Okay, it sends there just fine. Now let's look at the bot. Okay, cool. The RSI snapshot table was created successfully. Now we can go and look at that by opening Anaconda prompt. Conda activate this, and we're going to say log into the database. We'll zoom in here real quick. And now we're going to do this. We're going to say /d RSI snapshot just to make sure the table does exist, and it does. They're all the right data types, double precision. Then we have a timestamp as well. Let's see if that works actually. Okay, okay, that's just the insertion timestamp. Okay, perfect. So that it all works. So what we're going to do now is, if you want to use the scan RSI command, what it's going to do is it's going to use the RSI snapshot command from the other cog right here. But instead, what it's going to do is it's going to do it automatically for all of the tickers. So right here, we're going to say data is snapshot, and then ticker is ticker. But we really should do the same thing as well with the gathering the tickers, but this is where we can import those lists from. So fudstop.markets.listsets.dictionaries import technology, industrials. Let's just start with technology, industrials, healthcare, consumer services, defensive, and ETFs, and energy. Let's just do those, and then we'll say all tickers equals technology plus industrials plus healthcare plus communication plus consumer defensive plus ETFs plus energy, and then we'll just iterate through that giant list. And so what we're going to do is we're going to say tasks, just like we did before, equals, we'll pass this in directly. So like this, for ticker in all tickers. And then as it gets those, we're going to say results equals await asyncio gather tasks. And then I actually need to import asyncio. And once that's imported, then I can say results is results 0. And then we can say await self.db.batch insert data frame results. Table name is RSI snapshot. And then unique columns is ticker, just like before. And let's see if this works. And then this will scan the RSI. It'll basically insert all the records into the database for us. And then I'm going to make a final command at the stock part of this that'll allow us to query that and see what the lowest and the highest RSI is and things like that. So let's go ahead and see scan RSI man. Let's see if it works. Come on, buddy. Oh, I didn't print anything off. Well, one way we can check though is by checking the database. So see how there was only one record before? Now there's still one. Okay, sick. So it hasn't started working yet. And remember, it's doing a pretty large list here, so it may take a second or a moment to get it done. But in the meantime, what I could do is oh, there it goes right there. Let's see if it's actually inserting it though. Not quite. Let's see. So we know this works here. I really could just run this file and do the same thing. And we'll just do it right here. So let's go here, insert the database, go to the main file, put that there, and then go to scan and just copy this over. And we'll just put it as DB instead. I didn't connect to the database, I don't think, or it's too many clients, I think. Yeah, that's probably the issue. Let's just do it from this file. So we'll do await db.batch insert data frame data. Table name is RSI snapshot, and then unique columns is ticker. And we'll run this file, which will update it. Same concept, but eventually we'll be available to do it from within Discord. That way you'll always be able to refresh whatever data it is you're looking for. Forgot to connect to the database, Lottie. There we go, connected. So this should update it all for the most position increase tickers. Boom, there it goes. Now, is it actually updating? Okay, sick. So it's all updated, perfect. There's lots of records now, and it's the most ticker or the most open interest increased tickers in the market. So now what we can do is go back to the commands. We have the RSI snapshot for a singular ticker. Now we can do at stock.subcommand, and we can say async def. We're gonna actually, since we don't need this right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and delete this whole cog for now. And then we're gonna say scan RSI self enter app command enter get RSI based on high or low RSI. What we're going to do here is we're going to say await enter response defer, and we're going to say await self.db.connect, and then instead of running a function now we're going to say query equals select all from RSI snapshot order by RSI, if that's the name of the column. Is it? No, there's multiple RSI. Day, hour, week. Is there not there should be month too, and minute as well. I may need to edit that or update the package, but there will be minute and month as well. So for now we have the day, hour, and week to work with. And we're going to say order by, and then we're also going to enable another command or another argument here. We're going to say ticker. I'm sorry, not ticker, but time span. And then we're going to do string commands.param. We're going to say choices equals, we're going to say day, week, month. And now we can say where make sure we get day, hour, and week. Let's do this, we'll say time span. Well, actually, we can just do simply, we don't even have to put that. We can just say order by whatever time span the user wants, RSI. And then we're going to say descending value, highest to lowest. And then we can put in another command. We'll put order string commands.param choices equals highest to lowest or lowest to highest. Order by, no, I'm sorry, type, like right there, or order, sorry. Order by time span, and then the order as in ascending or descending. So if order equals highest to lowest, order equals descending, else order equals ascending. There we go. So now we will convert that to a data frame. So results equals pd.dataframe, and then we'll say, actually we need to call a function. We'll say results equals db, or await db.fetch, self.db rather. And we'll say query, and then the results is, let's do data frame is the results. And then for the columns, we'll just pass in ticker, day RSI, hour RSI, week RSI. If that's the right order. Yeah. Oh, we need the price as well. So now what we can do is say, we have tabulate in here, I think. Table is tabulate, data frame. Headers are the keys. Format is the fancy bro. And the show index is false. And then we can say chunkies or chunks. I need to copy this from another file real quick. Let's go here. Chunks. Right here. We'll put this here. Table. And what we can do now is we can import one more thing. We'll say from fudstop.discord.botmenus.pagination import alert menus. Now we can say embeds, make an empty list for chunk in chunks. We're going to say embed is snake.embed title equals RSI scan order, should be highest to lowest or lowest to highest, and then the ticker, and then the time span. Let's see. Oh, we won't need the ticker because it's all the tickers. Right. So it's the most OI increase. And then description is going to be the chunk. Right, we made blue the color for this command series, so we'll do color is just snake by color dot blue. And what we can do now is embeds dot append embed. We can do a field if we want. Info viewing RSI snapshot for all tickers with the most OI increase in the order of, or in order on the time span. And then we can just simply do await enter.edit message embed equals embeds, and then view is alert menus with embeds passed in. That should do it, I think. Let's go ahead and run this beach to see and find out, man. Okay, buddy. So now we go and we look at it, at the commands, man. Oh my God, Daddy made $28 today. Very good, Daddy. You're doing it. You're doing it, Daddy. Anyways, okay. I love you, Jollis. We're gonna scan the RSI now, mate. All right. Oh, I need to refresh the bot. Surely we didn't name it the same thing, did we? Scan. Okay, perfect. Scan the RSI, man. Give it to me. So we have our time spans here, man. We have day, week, month. So we're gonna do day, highest to lowest. Oh my God, dude, it does not work. Why, man? What is the problem, man? I see what the problem is, man. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm okay. I don't need the insertion timestamp, man. So I just do ticker price, day RSI, hour RSI, week RSI, man, and that was going to work. Oh, I stopped it. It's okay. Let's try again. Still getting the old rust off. Okay, now we will try it again. Oh my God, look, it's like magic, bro. Oh my God. Okay. But yeah, you see how now we're paginated. So the reason why I did the chunkies in the code is so now when we go to the next page, it continues instead of, getting an error for uh, the embed being too big, too much context in it. So now we're in order from RSI by the day. And I'll put like a little symbol so you know what column you're on. But day RSI, highest to lowest, right? We could do the same thing, but in reverse by doing lowest to highest. And then it does not work, man. Oh my God. What did I do wrong? Okay. What is the problem, man? I'm just gonna hard code this shit. Sometimes this snake gives you errors. So lowest to highest order equals ascending. Let's see if it works now. Oh, there we go. So now it's the opposite way. Instead of in order from highest to lowest, it's the exact opposite. And of course, you can just look at it the same way, because I could just go to page 2 and then start from the very bottom, and where it's the same thing. You're just flipping it around. Gives you a way to manipulate the data from the Discord. And this is the beauty of Discord is you can make things like this and allow the user to easily use them to find these data outliers very quickly. This can be easily upgraded in real time too. So you could, if you're looking for like real quick minute scalps or something, you can just scan for the minute RSI, highest to lowest or whatever. Look for those 99 snipes, and then just go. And you always know that you're trading on really active tickers with the most position of open interest increased. So there's liquidity, things like that, and just a lot of data metrics go into this. When you think about the data, what it means, how you can apply it to your trading. I mean, you'll be surprised at what you can do because again, it's all about finding momentum. And what we know is that the RSI is a good way to find a reversal. It's a no-brainer that when it's overbought and oversold, it tends to go back within the range between 70 and 30, not stay below 30 or above 70. Sometimes it does, but more times than not, it doesn't. That's all you're looking for. But anyways, hope you enjoyed this gay video.